What if I told you that the secret to wealth has nothing to do with making more money? That someone earning $60,000 could live a richer, more fulfilling life than someone making $200,000? It sounds crazy, but it's absolutely true. And that's exactly what The Art of Spending Money, Simple Choices for a Richer Life reveals in stunning clarity. Most of us are terrible at spending money. We work hard, earn decent incomes, but somehow always feel broke. We buy things we don't need, with money we don't have, to impress people we don't like. We sacrifice hours of our lives for paychecks, then waste those paychecks on things that bring us zero lasting happiness. The average person spends 40+ hours a week earning money, but gives maybe 40 minutes a month thinking about how to spend it wisely. Does that make any sense? This book isn't another "Stop Buying Lattes and You'll Be a Millionaire" lecture. It's not about extreme couponing or living like a monk. Instead, it teaches you something revolutionary: how to spend money in ways that actually make you happier, freer, and more fulfilled. The author reveals a counterintuitive truth backed by research. Wealthy people aren't always the happiest, but intentional spenders almost always are. This book gives you a proven framework to transform your relationship with money, not by earning more or spending less, but by spending smarter on what truly matters to you. Inside these pages, you'll discover how to identify your true values and ruthlessly align every dollar with them so your bank statement becomes a reflection of your best life, not your worst impulses. The science-backed strategy for buying happiness. Yes, money can buy happiness, but only when you spend it the right way. Why being cheap on everything keeps you poor, but being strategically frugal makes you rich. The simple mental tool that eliminates buyer's remorse and impulse purchases forever. And how to define your enough number, the magic threshold where more money stops mattering and true freedom begins. Imagine looking at your bank account and feeling excited instead of anxious. Imagine spending guilt-free on the things you love because you've eliminated waste on things you don't. Imagine having the confidence to say no to the expensive things society tells you to want, and yes to the meaningful things your heart actually desires. That's the richer life this book promises, and it's available to you right now, regardless of your current income. If you're tired of feeling like money controls you instead of the other way around, The Art of Spending Money is your roadmap to financial freedom that actually feels free. Stick around because in this video, I'm breaking down the 5 core principles that will completely transform how you think about every dollar you spend. Let's dive in. 1. Align spending with your values. The foundation of meaningful spending is understanding what truly matters to you. Most people spend reactively based on social pressure, advertising, or habit rather than consciously directing money toward what brings genuine fulfillment. This principle asks you to identify your core values, whether that's family time, personal growth, adventure, or creativity, and then ruthlessly align your budget with those priorities while cutting spending that doesn't serve them. For example, Sarah realized she was spending $400 monthly on a luxury gym membership she rarely used because her friends went there, while claiming she couldn't afford a $2,000 annual family vacation. After clarifying that family connection was her top value, she switched to a $30 per month basic gym and redirected those savings toward meaningful travel experiences that created lasting memories with her children. 2. Buy time, not things. Research shows that purchases that save time or create experiences consistently deliver more happiness than material possessions. This principle encourages spending money to eliminate tasks you hate or to create experiences rather than accumulating objects. Time is your most finite resource, and spending to reclaim it, whether through outsourcing, convenience, or efficiency, often provides the highest return on investment for life satisfaction. For example, Marcus, a busy entrepreneur, calculated he spent 8 hours monthly on house cleaning he despised. By hiring a cleaning service for $200 per month, he freed up those hours to spend with his kids and on his side passion project. Though he initially felt guilty about the luxury, he realized those reclaimed hours were worth far more than the equivalent cost of his time, and his overall happiness increased significantly. 3. Embrace strategic frugality. Save on the unimportant. Being rich isn't about depriving yourself, it's about being strategically cheap on things that don't matter to you so you can be extravagant on what does. This principle rejects blanket frugality in favor of conscious choice. Identify areas where quality or brand names make zero difference to your satisfaction. Automate savings in those categories and redirect those funds toward your value priorities without guilt. For example, Jennifer stopped caring about designer clothes but loved gourmet cooking. She cut her clothing budget by 70% by shopping secondhand and basics, saving $3,000 annually. She then guilt-free invested in premium cooking equipment, specialty ingredients, and culinary classes. Her overall spending stayed the same, but her life satisfaction soared because her money matched her passions. 4. The 10-10-10 rule for purchase decisions. Before making non-essential purchases, ask yourself, how will I feel about this spending in 10 minutes, 10 months, and 10 years? This temporal perspective prevents impulse buying and helps distinguish between fleeting desires and lasting value. Purchases that will matter in 10 months or 10 years deserve consideration. Those that only feel good for 10 minutes rarely do. For example, David wanted to buy a $5,000 jet ski. Using the 10-10-10 rule, in 10 minutes, he'd be thrilled. In 10 months, he realized he'd probably use it 3 to 4 times given his schedule. In 10 years, he'd likely have storage costs and depreciation. Instead, he spent $1,500 on a multi-week wilderness photography course, a lifelong passion. 10 years later, those skills still brought him joy while the jet ski would have been a forgotten expense. 5. Build your enough number. Lasting financial satisfaction comes from defining enough rather than constantly chasing more. This principle involves calculating your personal sufficiency threshold, the income and lifestyle level, where additional money brings diminishing returns to happiness. Beyond basic needs plus reasonable comforts, research shows more money correlates weakly with well-being. Knowing you're enough prevents the hedonic treadmill and lifestyle inflation. For example, after a promotion, Tom's household income jumped from $85,000 to $120,000. Instead of upgrading everything, he and his wife consciously decided their current lifestyle at $85,000 was enough. They automated the $35,000 difference into investments and charitable giving. 5 years later, they had financial freedom to switch careers without money stress, while colleagues who had inflated their lifestyles to match income increases felt trapped in jobs they disliked. So there you have it, the 5 core principles from The Art of Spending Money that can completely transform your financial life. But here's what makes this book truly different from every other money book you've read. Most financial advice treats money as the end goal. Make more, save more, retire with more. But this book flips that script entirely. Money isn't the goal, it's a tool. And like any tool, its value depends entirely on how skillfully you use it. Think about it. What's the point of being the richest person in the cemetery? What's the point of sacrificing your entire youth for a retirement you might not live to enjoy? This book teaches you to build wealth and live richly right now, not someday, but today. By aligning spending with your values, you stop wasting money on other people's dreams and start funding your own. By buying time instead of things, you reclaim your most precious resource. Through strategic frugality, you give yourself permission to be extravagant on what matters. The 10-10-10 rule eliminates regret before it happens. And by defining your enough, you escape the trap that keeps most people running on a treadmill forever. These aren't just nice ideas, they're practical, actionable strategies that work whether you're earning $40,000 or $400,000. Here's my challenge to you. Take just one principle from this book and implement it this week. Pull out your last month's bank statement right now. Look at where your money actually went. Does it reflect your values? Or does it reflect impulse, habit, and social pressure? Pick one area where you're spending on something you don't care about. Cut it. Redirect that money towards something that genuinely lights you up. Just once. See how it feels. I guarantee you'll feel more in control than you have in years. Remember, a richer life isn't about having more. It's about wanting what you have and spending intentionally on what brings real joy. Every dollar is a vote for the life you want to live. What are your dollars voting for? If this video helped you see money differently, smash that like button, subscribe for more book breakdowns, and drop a comment telling me which principle resonated most. Now go out there and spend like someone who knows their worth.